Hey everybody, welcome to our team call. Tonight is September 25th, I almost said 16, oh my God, 2017, and it is our fourth quarter game plan call. Jenna's team Free to Be, and my team, the Dreamers. We are collaborating once again and are excited to rock the fourth quarter, which starts on Thursday officially. And as we're moving into the last few months of the year, we just kind of wanted to finish off strong. We wanted to kind of get a recap of where everybody's at, kind of just like do a little self-awareness check, kind of revisit our goals, inspire one another, and just get the ground running and just go for it and kick ass. And yeah, is there anything you want to add to that, Jenna?
Yeah, I think that, having a plan is a game plan, right? Because that's the theme of our call, is so important in the fourth quarter, because we're going to be totally honest with you guys. The fourth quarter is challenging, but it is something that if we have a game plan, we can totally get through and be just as successful, right? So there's two types of coaches who go into the fourth quarter. One is a coach who is going to understand that there's holidays, understand that they're going to be busy, that there's going to be temptations. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to get people to commit to their health and fitness, because people are kind of giving up at that point. They're like, well, I kind of just have screwed up since Thanksgiving, so like the rest of the year is kind of out of the question. So that coach is going to give into those objections as excuses and is going to let their business kind of crumble. But then there's another type of coach, and that coach is going to plan now for what's to come and is going to be that example that everyone else needs. They don't need a coach who is going to let them get further back in their goals because of excuses, right? They want a coach who's going to show up and who's going to show them that they can achieve balance in their life and in their health through the holidays, through the end of the year, and that they can actually be ahead in their health and fitness journeys and not start off January, 20 pounds overweight and feeling like crap and feeling like, oh, is this going to be another New Year's resolution that I don't keep? So those coaches see their businesses grow in the last quarter. They realize that as a business owner, there's always going to be challenges, but it's about who's going to be willing to be creative in their business to really speak to people, speak to their objections, and really help them through those objections and show them what's possible through your actions. So, Paulina, do you want to add to that?
Amen, girl. No, that was like perfectly said. Like, I don't think I could top that. You did awesome. Yeah, we're done.
The Gronk spike.
Yeah. 7 minutes in, the call's over, guys. This is it. I'm just kidding.
Sorry,
but yeah,
out of the way.
No, that was awesome. And just to reiterate what Jenna's saying, like having a game plan, having your focus, your vision clear, understanding why you're doing this in the first place. That's what's going to drive you. Because if all that stuff is fuzzy, if you're just kind of like in it, half in, half out. Guess what? All those things that Jenna just mentioned about the holidays coming up, and there's going to be lots of family get-togethers, parties, football nights, you name it, right? It's all like temptations for everybody, including ourselves. So if we're not on our game, if we're not trying our best and showing up for ourselves and our fitness and our goals, then who's going to follow us? Like, our challengers, our future prospects, our future coaches are going to be like, oh, she's a slacker. She's not really doing this. Like, that doesn't work, because you're not proving to them that it could work, right? And we're not saying you have to be perfect, because I'm far from it. But you have to at least be trying. You have to be showing up. You have to be sharing your journey, sharing about the challenges, maybe giving, some kind of tips or advice or ways that you're getting through all these obstacles to make sure that you're staying on track, and, showing people that, yeah, it's okay to be human. It's okay to have some cheat meals and not be perfect. But like Jenna said, starting the new year, away from your goals and 20 pounds heavier, or like much further away from other things that you want to accomplish, that's not where you want to be either. So just having a plan laid out, knowing, what to expect, what hurdles are going to be coming our way, and setting ourselves up for success is what's going to take us much further along in our journeys than it would if we're just kind of going at it, blindly. So Go ahead.
And the same thing, like we're talking about our fitness kind of right there too, but the same thing can be applied to your businesses, right? Like we don't want to start January feeling like we're so behind the ball when we could have ramped up all this momentum now in the last quarter to really set us up for success in January. And again, that's due to showing up, that's due to inviting, that's due to building relationships with people, even if they do tell you no. Like that doesn't mean that you should say, okay, well, thanks for letting me know and never talk to them again. No, that's your time to build relationships with them. So when they are maybe ready come January or the new year, you have built trust with them. You have built a positive reputation with them versus a reputation where they feel you're just out to sell them something and that you don't really care about them. So keep that in mind too as it comes to your business. Don't wait till the new year to start over. Like start now. Today is your day one. And that's kind of also along the same lines as the theme that was at Super Saturday, right? Make today your day one and really just go all in and get creative, right? So we have a bunch of tools for our team coming up. So it would be very wise of you guys to take advantage of it and to not necessarily recreate the wheel yourself unless you want to and you have that time to get creative with your groups. But we have a coffee group coming up. So we basically are replacing coffee or breakfast with Shakeology and getting people exposed to the cafe latte Shakeology. So that's a unique way that you can kind of get new people exposed to the products before they maybe commit to a challenge pack. We have Clean Week coming up. Those of you at Super Saturday saw that new program. Paulina, do you want to go into that one a little bit?
Yeah, so Clean Week is a super amazing opportunity that Beachbody finally made for us, because before this program came to existence, we were doing this on our own, right? Like we were running free groups. We're trying to figure out, okay, a meal plan for people that's simple to use. We're trying to get them a little sneak peek into what we do as coaches, the accountability we provide, the tools and tips and everything, meal plans and whatnot. But now Beachbody created all that for us. So we don't have to think of it on our own. We don't have to try to sit for hours and make up a meal plan or figure out a shopping list or figure out, okay, what kind of workout challenge am I going to run for 7 days? Beachbody is giving that all to us. This is the best gifts we could ask for. And I'm also going to cover a little bit about other things that are coming out and rolling out over the next few months and weeks, because all of this is opportunity for us. Yes, it might seem a little overwhelming that there's so much stuff coming out, but how awesome is it that Beachbody is constantly innovating, constantly bettering themselves, bettering their systems, bettering programs for us, making new programs for different types of people and communities and now families, and trying to incorporate family more into the fitness and healthy lifestyle. It's not just about the mom and dad or whoever. It's for everybody, right? It's all encompassing. So with Clean Week, it's coming out on the 3rd. It's going to be $29.95 if you don't know. It's going to give them 7 days of Shakeology. They're going to get 7 workouts on Beachbody On Demand without having to sign up for any kind of free trial for a bot or anything that they're going to be charged for in the future. So we're not going to have that problem that we're running into with the free account now, that after 14 days if they don't cancel, then they're going to have a hassle trying to figure it out. So we're giving them everything, the meal plan. There's going to be a challenge group guide in the Coach Online office, so we don't even have to really think about anything. All we have to do is just use the tools, talk about them, share it with others, right? Invite our prospects, people who might not be ready to commit to a full 30 days with us or a challenge pack. This is a great way for them to sample for $30, which is nothing, honestly. Everybody has an extra $30, or they can, not go to Starbucks for a week and have more than $30, right? So it's a very low investment. It's a great opportunity for us really to just show up for them and give them the best experience ever. So that way they can see, okay, wow, I really want to be part of this. I'm ready to commit the 160 with a full challenge pack and stay on, bot all year, because now we've already given them that taste, right? And with the workouts in them, the trainer, Megan, she actually does little snippets and samples of different moves from other programs. So she references them oh, this is a move from 20 Fix, or this is a move from 22-minute hardcore or whatever. So they're already hearing those names of other programs, and they're like, oh, what's that? What's this? And they're hearing the names of the trainers, so it's kind of giving more exposure to what they can look forward to, right? And there's like, I think they call it like a ramp up. So instead of like a modifier for, somebody who isn't as, like into fitness yet or is kind of like a beginner, there's a ramp up. So if the moves are kind of like easy and more beginner style for somebody who might be already into fitness, they can ramp it up it's intensifier or something like that, right? I think it's intensifier, whatever it's called. It's something cool like that. So that way they can kind of like go all out, and then like the next day they're gonna be like, damn, that was a great workout. It wasn't just like, a little like easy peasy type of thing. So.
Yeah, that's great, because so many people I feel like they don't understand. Like, keep in mind when you're sharing about these types of things, you want to have some curiosity to it. So like, people don't understand what a challenge group is. People don't understand what clean week is. So we want to be talking and sharing about this in a way that speaks to a need of theirs, right? So, health and fitness, online accountability group, and just really making it easy for them to understand what this group is. And then once you get them in that group, it really opens their eyes to what this community is all about. Because even still, I get people who sign up with me, and then I add them into like the My Challenge Tracker mobile app group, and they're like, whoa, I had no idea this whole community existed. So it's crazy. And if you can get them exposed through Clean Week, again, which all the guides are there for you, super foolproof. A coach who signed up today could literally run a Clean Week group. If you utilize that, then and give a good experience and really plug in, get to know where your potential clients are struggling and really show up for them. Like Paulina said, you're going to get so much more out of that group in return.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm also going to share with Jenna, my coach, Christina Delgado, created like a Clean Week, like product guide thing, like this awesome nifty little Google Doc that she actually gave like samples of, different like Facebook statuses that you can use, kind of like curiosity marketing, and like sharing little snippets of like what it's about, trying to like, promote for getting people interested into it and whatnot. So I'm going to share that with her, so that guide you guys can use too, and start testing out some of those, posts, and like, don't copy and paste as it is. Like, try to like make it sound like you, because obviously if you don't use like some kind of language that's in that text, like it's going to look like it was copy and paste. So make it your own, add emojis, whatever you want to do, like, make it your own personality. But definitely start sharing about it, start talking about it. It's not too early. Like, it's coming out like next week, which is crazy.
And you guys don't even have to like make it a basic, boring, like fitness and clean eating group. Why don't you put a theme around it? Like something to do with fall, or I don't know, like football or whatever. Come up with a theme that you enjoy personally, and then wrap it around this group, so that the theme is what makes it fun and makes people committed to showing up. But Clean Week from Beachbody is basically like the tool that you are going to hand over, and the package that you're going to hand over to them to give them that system to stay on track with their health and fitness. But the theme keeps them coming back and gets them excited.
Yeah, for sure. So moving on to some other exciting, awesome stuff that's coming out. I'm going to share, I made this cute little image. Hopefully you guys can see it. Oh, no. All right. So fourth quarter and important dates. Can you guys see? Hold on, let me make sure I can see in the chat post that you can see, because I can't see you guys now. I don't know why this always happens. Like, you guys disappear. Can you see me? Can you see the things?
Yep.
All right. Perfect. Okay. So there's going to be a new coach online office that's going to be like revamped. And on the 27th, which is like in 2 days, they're doing a webcast to kind of explain like the features and the functionalities of that. So I don't have all the details on that yet, but once I find them somewhere on Beachbody, I will share them. Like I mentioned, on Thursday, the fourth quarter officially starts. Clean Week is launching on the 3rd. They're also doing an October surge, and I'm assuming they're going to be talking about Clean Week and sharing all about that, and have the trainer on there so she can kind of talk about the program and explain, who is it good for, how to, share about it, and all that great stuff. We're going to the UK, if you guys haven't noticed. We're launching internationally to the United Kingdom, which is really exciting. And hopefully you guys have been sharing about that, have been talking about that. Maybe you guys have some family members, some friends, some, even people on social media who follow you that live in the UK. Try, talking about it. Try connecting with them now, because this is a great opportunity to get not only challengers in a different country or different countries, but get new coaches on your team. That's like amazing.
Can I just share one thing about that before we move on?
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So when I was at my coach's retreat, we had a corporate mentor there, Kim Carver, and he shared a little bit about the UK launch, right? Because we're entering a new country and there's so many possibilities, but you don't want to completely shift your focus to all UK. You definitely there's so much need to still keep focus here in the US. There's like 266 million million, I think, people. No, I don't know. 266 something people who are obese in this country. Carl said it at Super Saturday, and don't quote me. But we have so much work to do here. So don't grasp at the shiny object and like make all your focus on the UK. Do what you're doing here in the US. But like Paulina said, try to make connections with people over there, because as we expand to other markets that are like around the UK, the people in the UK have friends like all over the place over there. So it's a huge opportunity for growth if you can get people into your team who are from there, because they have connections at all different places around the UK. So build relationships with people over there, but don't lose sight of what we're doing here either.
Exactly. On the 20th, they're doing a live surge from the UK, which will be kind of cool. On the 21st, they're actually doing their like official Team Beachbody UK launch event. So that's when they're like literally like launching. They're doing a big thing. I'm assuming I won't be there, unfortunately. But I'm assuming it's gonna be a great party. It's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of people from corporate will be there, and just getting people signed up. And so if you do have people out there, like tell them to go to this event. Like how kick-ass would it be if you have a founding UK coach on your team sign up there, right? And then, so Double Time is coming out on the 1st, November 1st. So like I mentioned, Beachbody is now focusing more on incorporating the family and including them into, our at-home fitness and health with Daily Sunshine, with this new program with Tony Horton that is allowing you the opportunity to work out with, a spouse, a child, a family member that you're in the home with. So it's really cool. I'm excited for that. On the 24th of December, we have a little thing called A Little Obsessed, which is launching. So if you haven't heard about Autumn's new program, 80-Day Obsession, they're doing kind of like a sneak peek, sort of like what Clean Week is. They're going to do that with A Little Obsessed. So I don't know all the details on that yet because they didn't share too much about it, but it's going to give people a little snippet into 80-Day Obsession. And I'm sure Autumn's going to explain, how amazing this program is, how it works, who's it for, and just kind of give people a little sneak peek into what 80-Day Obsession will be like. So that way, when we get people committed, they're not just like going into this blindly. They know what to expect, how the program's going to work, how the meal plan works, and all that, because it's very specific as far as like meal timed nutrition. It's not like any other program that we have yet so far. So, but if you haven't seen, people's results have been phenomenal. They've been crazy. And it's only been 50 days into the test group, I believe. So there's still 30 more days to see like how the coaches in the test group are going to transform. So I'm stoked about that program. So that 80 Obsession is launching on the 15th of January. So lots and lots of opportunity coming our way from Beachbody. The company clearly wants us to be successful. They're handing us all these tools and all these things. And it's up to us to take it, right? To take advantage of it, to start sharing about it. Like Jenna said, like really leaning in instead of being that coach who's kind of like, oh, like whatever, I'll just, figure it out next month or the next month or in January when, time is, I don't know. Like, there's never a perfect time to start. There's never going to be a moment that's like ideal. Everyone always has a bunch of stuff on their plate. Everyone has their responsibilities, their work, their family, their jobs, their kids, other obligations. So if you're waiting for like, oh, you know, on the weekends I'll be able to do this business, or I'll, you know, have time to do my meal plan, or have time to do my workout, whatever it is, like stop delaying your own success and your own results, because there's never going to be a right time. You just have to make the time. You have to figure it out. You have to prioritize. You have to get, you know, smart about what you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve. When Jen and I were kind of like masterminding on our call that we have every week of like what we want to talk about, I wanted to kind of like touch on this analogy that I heard in a personal development training about time management. So there was like a professor who came into class one day. He bought this like empty like glass vase, right? And he started putting these big rocks inside the vase, and he filled it to the top, right? And he asked students like, oh, is this vase full, right? And the students are like, yeah, it's full. Like there's rocks to the top, right? And then he comes out and he like brings like these little pebbles, and he's like, he starts throwing the pebbles into the vase with the rocks, and the pebbles start filling up the vase with the rocks. And he's like, is it full? And they're like, oh yeah, well there's room, so now it's full because the pebbles are there, right? And then he brings out like a little thing of sand, and he pours the sand into the container, right? And like it fills up, and there's still room for more stuff, right? And they're like, oh wow, like we thought it was full, but actually it wasn't. Like you still put more stuff. And then like at the end, I think he poured water into it, and obviously it was like completely full. But the point of that whole thing is to kind of figure out what your big rocks are. So your biggest responsibilities, obviously, like, you know, your job. If you're in school, like, you know, school is important, right? Your family, if you have kids, significant others or spouses, all those things like are your big rocks, right? Your business should definitely be a big rock. I hope it'll be a big rock if it's not yet. And then you have to figure out, okay, like once you have time set, once you have committed, you have, you know, your business hours put into your calendar, your workouts scheduled, your, you know, school time, your work time, commute time, whatever it might be. Then you could figure out, okay, like what do I have time for, like the little pebbles? So little pebbles could be like, you know, social gatherings. It could be TV time. It could be, you know, other kind of hobbies or things that you're into. Those other things, they shouldn't take priority in your life, especially if you want to have a successful business, because, you know, you'll have time for that in the future. When you create freedom with this business and you're making, you know, enough income to either replace your current income or extra income that's going to pay off your debt or pay off your student loans or whatever it might be, then you can do all that fun stuff, right? But for right now, like focus on just like hustling and making shit happen and kicking ass in your business, because if not, you're just going to be in that constant cycle of like not having enough, of barely, you know, making ends meet, of struggling to pay off your loans, struggling to pay off, you know, your credit cards or whatever it might be, because, you know, you rather have fun. Like, okay, you know, like figure out what it is, what's more important to you. Is it more important to you to kind of like really like dig deep and just sacrifice some things now for the short term so you can have that long-term freedom and flexibility and kind of like make your own schedule and be your own boss and do whatever you want whenever you want to? Or are you just gonna like, you know, be wishy-washy about it and constantly be stuck? Like, I don't want to be stuck. You know, that's not fun. I want to have the freedom and flexibility to do whatever I want, to go on vacation, to, you know, have that extra income to spoil my niece now. Like, because this little girl, she's like 2 weeks old, but she's expensive. So, you know, and then when I have a family one day, like I don't want to not be able to provide for my kids or be able to afford their basic needs because, oh, I want to watch Game of Thrones, you know, like, so, okay, I'm going off on a tangent, but Jenna, if you want to add anything in there,
no, preach, sister, preach. I think everyone needs to hear that, and it's kind of hopefully one of those reality check moments for you. Hopefully you're looking at what you've done up until this point, and can you do things differently? Are you achieving the success in your business that you had hoped for? And if not, it's time to change that narrative. It's time to change those actions that maybe aren't producing the biggest results. So maybe you're focusing on, you know, the sand and not the rocks or whatever, the pebbles. So I want you guys to know that everyone on here has something probably that holds them back every single day, but we have a decision to change that narrative that we're telling ourselves. So yeah, I want to build a business, but I can't because I'm really busy, or I I know nothing about running a business, or I've only signed one person up, right? If we're focusing on those things and in the areas that we feel we're not good enough, then we're never going to see the success we want in this business. We have to make that decision to change what we tell ourselves and then take action to back that up. And that's where you're going to see that shift in your business. So I guess like this is kind of something that really stuck out to me at my coach's leadership retreat. Again, when we had someone from corporate come in and talk to us, because even coaches at this retreat from my coach's team, top level coaches within her team, you know, they're all struggling with similar things that we may be struggling with, which I thought was pretty interesting, right? Because we look at these top level coaches and we think that they have it all put together, and that's not always the case. So everyone on this call has that opportunity to make today, again, that day one where they change things around. And the key to doing that is, again, having a plan. If we're not organized, then all that amazing stuff we just talked about doesn't mean shit, honestly. That's not going to help your business in any way. And I know it seems like a lot, right? When you have that whole list, but get a calendar, you know, print one out online, buy a cheap calendar, buy a notebook, and map out now through maybe even January when you want to run your groups, what type of themes your groups are going to be. So you have something to start think about, and you have that game plan that you can work towards. You know what you're inviting people to, versus it being October 1st and you're like, crap, I have no idea what group I'm running this month. So I have no idea what I'm inviting to. What am I doing? And then it's easy to sort of just give up because you don't have that plan. You don't feel organized. You feel like you're always trying to rush and catch up, and you're never quite getting to where you want to be. So it's so important to have that plan and be creative. I want to just share, I know we've kind of talked about a lot of things on this call, but bear with me because I want to just give you guys some ideas that you can think about in how you can help people where they're at and also grow your income at the same time from now until the end of the year. So one thing that we did some brainstorming at the retreat, so I'm just going to share a couple ideas. And your coach is probably running groups, but you guys can also have that freedom to run your own groups based on what you want to do, because you're all your own business owners. You can do what you want in this business. You can be as creative as you want, or you can keep things as simple as you want. But these are just some ideas. So you can choose to maybe do a cleanse around the holiday. So maybe it's after Thanksgiving. You can plan in your calendar to run some sort of cleanse and get your clients on board. Maybe they've fallen off track. Maybe you haven't worked with them for like a year or 2 years. And maybe this cleanse is going to be that thing that turns things around for them and shows them that you haven't given up on them. Another idea is you can actually decide to commit to a program. One thing that will change all of our businesses, and I'm just as guilty of this, is committing 100% to a program. You know, we have great programs that can be done in 3 weeks, and you can literally get a transformation that's going to speak volumes to the people who are following you if you recommit. A lot of times our businesses struggle because we're not practicing what we preach. Yeah, we may be drinking our shakes. Yeah, we may be working out, you know, like 4 days a week. And maybe we're not really following the portion control plan. But then our results don't back up what we're saying. But when I have coaches who are getting amazing transformations, and it doesn't have to be like huge weight loss, like you can experience transformations in many ways if you commit 100%. But if you are sharing about your journey, the good, the bad, your growth, then that's going to inspire people to take action during the holidays. That's going to show them that they don't have to wait till January. So think about a program that you want to commit to. Write down a day that you're starting that, and nothing else is going to get in your way. Even if you have events, you're sticking to it. So make that commitment to yourself and your business and your clients now. And then get them on board. See if they want to do that with you. And then the last thing I wanted to say is getting creative with how we're positioning what we're offering. So for me personally, when I am talking with someone, I think that the best way to get them signed up is with the All Access Challenge Pack. To me, that's like bare minimum. That's the best value. Like if you don't get that, I don't understand why. I just fully believe in that program. But where we're missing an opportunity is just offering the All Access Challenge Pack. Instead, we can give them options, and we can say the base program that you can get is the All Access Challenge Pack. But the next level up actually includes Energize. So you can kind of make your own package. So you can package Energize with the All Access Challenge Pack because that's going to benefit them. And then you could say the next level up from there is actually the All Access Challenge Pack with a cleanse. So you're going to start off the challenge losing, anywhere from 3 to 5+ pounds in 3 days. And that's going to make you excited. That's going to help get rid of your cravings. And it's going to really motivate you throughout the next 3 weeks. So that's a way to expose them to different products that if we just told ourselves, there's no way they're going to get the All Access Kickstart Challenge Pack because they probably can't afford it. Well, we're deciding that for them. And in fact, maybe they would have gone with that challenge pack because they can see how it would help them. So think of creative ways where you can package other programs together and just provide them with like a base option, middle, and like high tier option, because chances are they're going to pick probably like the middle or even high option because they're going to see that, okay, they're getting so much more for not that much more in cost. And they're looking at the challenge pack as like that base program. So they're not even thinking about like, oh, I'm just going to get the fitness program, So
genius. Genius.
I'm like out of breath talking about this. I need to stop. But yeah, those are just some ways that you guys can start to think about like, okay, I'm doing this group. How can I get creative? What themes can I get creative with? What programs do I want to follow myself and encourage my clients to follow with me? When you do that and when you have a roadmap, it's so much easier to get people on board and to see that success in your business and also in your fitness too.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And another thing, let's not forget about all the people that we've already helped this year. So let's go back and check in with them because a lot of people probably fell off or we forgot to follow up with them or they, were in a challenge group or maybe 2 challenge groups and then they kind of just faded out, or we kind of forgot about them. They didn't, reach out to us. So make sure you're checking back in with them. If they got the All Access Challenge Pack, then their BOD subscription will be renewing in a few months. And you don't want them to not take advantage of that and not use their subscription now so that way they can remember the value of why they signed up in the first place. They can get back on track. They can get new results, feel great about themselves. And then when it's time to renew, they're not going to click cancel. They're going to want to keep going because they're going to see how awesome this platform is, how exciting that all these other new programs are being added to the library every single month. And, that's an extra income opportunity for you because those subscriptions will be renewing instead of canceling, right? So something that I thought of when I was at Super Saturday and getting some ideas and stuff is just doing a 4th quarter push group and inviting all my old customers from this past year who have BOD subscriptions and just saying hey, I know, we've lost a little contact. I'd love to invite you to a new group. I'm hosting a special group for all of my challengers from this year. Let's get you back on track. I'm not going to push anything else on them. I'm just going to ask them to recommit to their goals. If they want to include Shakeology, then obviously I would love them to because I know they're going to get that much better results and feel that much better. But if they can't, I'm not going to exclude them from my group. I'm going to let them all in kind of, just open my doors up for everybody. Whoever wants to join, whoever has BOD, let's do this, right? And just run an accountability, nothing fancy, nothing out of this world, just simple accountability. I promised them that I'd be their coach, that I'd be there for them, that I'd give them support. So, I want to do that, right? So I hope you guys, want to run one together as a team. That's cool. I'm down for that. We can totally collaborate. And just, getting those people re-engaged and re-inspired. A few other things. We have 97 days till 2018. So crazy, right? But 97 days is a long time. You can do 3 programs that are 30 days and still have a few extra days in between that you're off. So like Jenna said, figure out, okay, what program am I committing to? If you're not committed to a program right now, like, okay, figure out which one you're going to do, right? Get on track, go get groceries, go do your meal plan, get on a 3-day refresh if you need to kind of like get back on track. You need that extra boost and that, you know, like pick me up, and let's do this. Like, let's commit and let's crush it, because we have to be showing up. We have to be doing our workouts every day. We have to be drinking our shake. Most importantly, if you're not doing personal development, please, 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 for the sake of yourself, do personal development. That is like critical to your business. If you're not doing personal development, honestly, like I heard this, someone from corporate said it to somebody else, and like they said on a team call, they're like, if you're not doing personal development, then you should just quit. And I know that might sound a little harsh to some people, but I've been in this business now for 5 years, long time. And I've seen it. People who aren't plugged into their personal development, who aren't growing their mindset, who aren't constantly trying to better themselves from the inside out, they give up. It's an easy quit. Like, no one's forcing you to be here. No one's, you know, checking if you're clocking in and clocking out, right? Like, you're your own boss. So if you're not staying on track and just inspiring yourself and listening to other things that are going to inspire you, that are going to empower you, that are going to show you that it's okay to fail, because we all fail. Like, failure isn't a bad thing, but, you know, quitting is what stops you. Like, we have to just constantly be failing forward and being optimistic about this business and seeing new ways and challenging ourselves of how to get better, how to grow, how to, you know, be better people, be better leaders, be better coaches. And that's what personal development will do for you. And it's personal. So make sure you're picking up a book or listening to an audio or subscribing to a podcast that speaks to you, you know, because something that you might listen to, it might inspire you, and something that I might listen to might not. So don't feel like just because I'm listening to something or reading a specific book, or Jenna's reading a specific book, that you have to go do that. No, figure out what works for you, what's going to help you get through on the good days and on the bad days. What else? So committing to your personal development, running like monthly clean week challenges is going to be a great opportunity now that clean week is coming out. Like Jenna said, maybe doing, you know, a 3-day refresh before, after the holidays, around Halloween time, maybe doing like a sugar or candy detox. You can do you could call it something like that, and just like a clean week challenge. Leaning in and just going all in, bringing out the best in you, showing up for yourself and your challenges and your challengers. Yeah. Anything else?
Oh yeah. I have one more big point I want to hammer home. This call, like, I've been thinking about it, guys, and it's like, we see so much potential in every single one of you. We see so much potential in ourselves, right? And we've had a lot of, Paulina and I talk every week. We have these heart-to-hearts. We really look at what we're doing, where we can be improving, and where we've fallen short. And I think it's time for you guys to stop playing small if you want big things out of this business. And big things means something different to every single one of you on this call. But if we keep playing small, it's not going to be fun. We're going to get burnt out. You're not going to feel motivated to want to continue. And we are just getting in our own way if we continue to play small. I've said it probably many times this year that personally, I'm not where I want to be, but guess whose fault that is? That's my fault, because I've been playing that narrative over and over in my head, and no wonder why I'm not where I want to be, because I've been sulking in that thought, and I haven't been taking action to change that narrative. So I want you guys to really, after this call, do some brainstorming. Think about where you've fallen short. Think about your why. Like, why are you even a coach in this business? What do you want from now until the end of the year? Do you want to feel stuck? Do you want to be where you are right now at the end of the year? Or do you want to be 10, 20, 50 steps forward at the end of the year? The only person stopping you from getting there is yourself. So we need to kind of make a pact as a team and step out of our way, and to dream big and let this business be that vehicle for change in our life that every single one of you signed up for. Some sort of change, whether it's to get out of a job, to give yourself freedom and flexibility in your life. Like, maybe you love your job now, but maybe, who knows, 5 years down the road, maybe you'll want that flexibility in your life, and Beachbody can be that. Maybe you need to feel connected to a bigger purpose, and this business allows you to do that by helping other people. Maybe you need positivity in your life, and this community does that for you. And helping other people, bring them into a positive community, does that for you as well. So think about your goals and think about, is what you're doing now going to get you there, or are you going to have to step it up and play a little bit bigger and up your game from now until the end of the year? So that's
Amen,
it.
girl. Preach. You're preaching now. Okay, so I'm gonna just wrap it up unless anyone has any questions. But I just want to say that I created a little like game plan PDF. So it's gonna kind of help you answer a few questions and think about, like Jenna said, like what's your why, what's your purpose, what's your vision, where do you want to be, where do you want to take this, and it's also broken down by months. So for October, November, December, a little bit about your goals, so that way you can kind of start planning it out, make that game plan, talk to your coach, talk to your sponsor, and figure it out with them. Like, okay, if I want to become a diamond coach by the end of the year, what do I need to do? If I want to earn, $200 in the month or $500 in the month, what can I do? How do I get there? Like how many people do I have to help each month? How big should I grow my team to make my income grow faster? Or, if I need to lose X amount of weight, okay, like what do I need to do? How do I get there, right? Just like how we help our challengers get set up with a plan, you need a plan too. So like she said, like let's step it up, let's go all in. And I saw a cool quote that said, the comeback is always stronger than the setback. So I hope that kind of like sinks in with you. If you guys are into football, I see a few Patriots jerseys in here. Tom Brady, I mean, he's pretty, the whole team is pretty impressive. So, when you're down, like they don't give up, right? Like they fucking get their shit together, refocus, get their minds right. Their coach is like, on their butt about it, and they make it happen. Like they focus on the win, right? So let's focus on our wins each and every day. Like let's just take steps to show up for ourselves, to show up for our businesses, to show up for our people, and go kick some amazing ass. So thanks guys for joining us. This was a great call. I'm going to stop the recording.